When we think about the nature of the universe that we live in, our mind often moves to some of the deeper thoughts about the universe. Today, we will be looking at 5 different aspects of our universe. Number 5, we are looking out into the past. When we go outside at night and look up at the beautiful night sky, we think deeply about life on other worlds and what the nature of the other star systems that we are viewing may be like. But a lot of the time, this may escape your mind, or you may not even know this, but we are actually looking up into the past when we are viewing stars. We are seeing them how they were, not just how they are. While this is a mind-bogglingly insane concept to think about, that nothing we are seeing is in what we as humans perceive as the present. This may seem very complex, but it is actually relatively simple to explain. For example, if you are in a dark sky reserve and are observing the Andromeda galaxy with your naked eye, you are observing it at a distance of 2.5 million light years away, which means that the light you are seeing at that moment is from 2.5 million years ago. So if our planet is visible to any potential advanced alien civilizations, they would be seeing our planet from long ago, which would make their ability to know of our existence and to contact us very hard due to the vast distances of space. Myself, when I am observing our galaxy through my telescope looking at all different stars, my thoughts often fall back to this point. As we discuss the Fermi paradox a lot on this channel, we are often thinking about the possibilities of what the knowledge of life in the universe could hold for us. But what if we may have indicators, but what we are seeing is from years in the past, and by the time we send out a probe and it reaches a civilization, it is already gone. It is extremely creepy to think about. Whilst addressing this, we must bring up the fact everything we are seeing is slightly delayed due to light. This would be, for example, in light milliseconds. If you're glancing at your phone, you'll be seeing a delayed time. So now, every time you look at your devices, or anything in the world in general, you can remind yourself that you are viewing it delayed. When you view the world in a different way and observe your surroundings with the thoughts that all things are made up of a composition of matter and that the light of the sun, the light of everything, plays a factor in life and how we live. I feel it is very good to be aware of this. It helps you think deeper about life and why we are here and how everything works through our human perception. So next time the night is clear, head outside and put on some creepy music and stare out into space and let your mind go wild. Number 4, there is no direction. Direction is a huge aspect of our day-to-day lives. As we choose directions, we walk every minute of every day and head out in different directions to our job and to see family and friends. It does not cross our minds very often that what we are experiencing as direction is due to gravity, which is relative to our planet. Of course, when talking about other planets, there are directions due to the gravity on that said planet, and also with galaxies and stars moving further away from each other. And for example, planet Earth rotating the sun is going in a direction, but space itself, the endless void that it is, does not have direction. If theories like the universe being infinite are true, then direction would be meaningless as space would just continue on forever. Or perhaps, even if the universe is a type of donut, where when you get to the edge, you end up back where you were. This would make the universe a kind of loop. We may discuss this theory further in another video. With the lack of direction and how vast the universe is, and even scaled down to the size of our galaxy, maybe these directions do not matter anyway because we will never be able to discover everything about the reality we live in. In terms of direction to places like other star systems and galaxies, perhaps we would be able to plan a route and send ourselves out there, but perhaps we would not be able to get back because it may be much harder than we expect. When I think about space and all of the aspects of life from the perception of a human being, I like to think that everything seems like it's in stages of size. What I mean by this is that, like ants that live in the ground and are so tiny that they have no perception of the larger world and universe that surrounds them, because they physically cannot comprehend it. Perhaps it is similar for us with the universe as a whole. Everything seems very layered in this universe. Each time you think you see the smallest thing, there is something that you cannot see because your eyes cannot pick it up. For example, something on the quantum level. Speaking of sizes and the grand size of the universe, this takes us on to our next topic, which is number 3, the vast distances of space. When we view any type of image of space, either through our own telescope or through images taken from the Hubble telescope, we are amazed by how beautiful the universe looks, but we ourselves do not have the perspective of how large the universe actually is through images. If we were taken to space on a flight like the Virgin Galactic and were able to experience the sort of out-of-body experience from the planet that humans have when going up into orbit, I believe that it would change most people's perspective, because we can watch videos and view images, but it is nothing like getting an in-person 3-dimensional view of outer space. The moon is our closest object, which is 384,000 kilometers away, which is 1.2 light seconds away from us. It sounds like a lot, but to put those numbers into perspective, you can fit the planet Mars 56 times in between the Earth and the Moon. When you imagine that the Moon is the closest object to us, these distances start to already sound unfathomable. Now think of the Sun, which is 149 million kilometers away from us, which is around 8 light minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, you can fit 1 million Earths in between the Earth and the Sun, and this is just in our solar system. Now we switch to the Milky Way, the galaxy which we live in, and this is 100,000 light years across, and holds between 100 million to 400 million stars. This is just one galaxy of hundreds of billions. These numbers, in comparison to the actual physical size, we cannot comprehend them, because we are just too small. There is an amazing image known as the pale blue dot that shows Earth from 3.7 billion miles away, which was taken by Voyager 1 in February 1990. This image really puts our size in terms of the universe into scale, and this can be very comforting, knowing that there is a whole universe out there with many possibilities for the future. Number 2. Dark matter and dark energy. When discussing our universe and everything that inhabits it, all of the stars and the planets, down to the microscopic things like atoms, it is hard for us to comprehend that only 4.6% of all the matter in the universe is regular matter. Things that you see all around you are made of regular matter, or otherwise known as baryonic matter. 24% is made up of dark matter, and 71.4% is dark energy. We are able to detect dark matter through gravitational lensing, which detects shifts in light by distant celestial objects. Dark matter draws other objects towards it. There is so much dark matter that its gravitational force is enough to hold entire galaxies. I feel the thought that we are surrounded by so much matter that we know virtually nothing about is actually quite terrifying. While it is scary, we can also take the positives from it, that we have detected it, and that we now can move into the future and try and discover as much information as possible about it. The first observational evidence for the existence of dark energy came from measurements of supernovae, which showed that the universe does not expand at a constant rate, rather the expansion of the universe is accelerating. It is quite interesting that the universe is expanding at an accelerating rate. Could this expansion carry on forever, or is it finite? What future does the knowledge of dark matter and dark energy hold for us? All we can do is speculate until then. Number 1. Consciousness. One of the most deep and philosophical discussions to have is about consciousness and what it means for our lives. How did the human race acquire the consciousness that we have? Was it just through evolution itself? Or could it be an indicator of an ability to tap into the spiritual type nature of the human experience? Well, we have many theories for how consciousness came to be, and how we became lucid within our lives, being able to question the morality of the species, or even as we are doing right now on this channel, speculate about the deepest thoughts about our universe. A very fun theory I have heard before is the stoned ape theory. The theory states that primitive humans took psychedelics and somehow these chemical reactions in the brain caused the consciousness that we experience today. While I myself do not believe this theory, I think that is hilarious to think that the whole of the current human existence through the societies that we have built and the technological advancements we have made is all because some humans from a long time ago got high. Our ability to be aware of our surroundings is one that helped the species since we came into existence, but that simple awareness is different to the ability to study the world around us and use materials to our advantage. Through this upgrade in lucidity, we were able to complete massive feats, for example heading to the moon. The strangest thing about consciousness is that we have no idea where it is. We have no specific place that we can point out in the brain and say, look, this is consciousness. We have yet to discover that information. I myself often think about this a lot and wonder about the nature of consciousness. While I myself am a spiritual person who believes in a soul, second body, or out-of-body experiences, I myself think that there could be a link with how we experience out-of-body experiences and have the ability to tap into that side of the human experience. Through these states of deep meditation where we have spiritual experiences, perhaps this is the absolute present in reality. While many of us have different viewpoints on life, whether you are religious, spiritual, an agnostic, an atheist, we can all come together and agree that the human experience is a strange one. While currently we do not have much information on our consciousness, we can speculate for the time being until we have any new developments, if we ever do. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come on a deep thinking journey with me. I will be covering most of these subjects in more detail, either in their own solo video or through a podcast, so subscribe to keep up to date with my latest content, and have a wonderful day, my deep thinkers.